This meme right here, well, it describes about 98% of the world's population. Real talk. I'm not going to sugarcoat it, and I never did. You know, what I've come to understand about this truth movement is when you stand on truth, you're actually going to stand alone most of the time, except for a very small percentage of people who finally woke up to see the world for what it actually is. 98% of the population, though, yeah, they're still stuck in the matrix. They're locked in, surviving on fake convenience, fake reassurance, and fake comfort. You know what really blows my mind, though? That 98%, they actually see something wrong. They feel it. They notice it. I mean, shit is right in front of their face, bold, obvious, and unapologetic. The system doesn't hide corruption anymore. It actually, it flaunts it. And every single time that people start to notice that veil being lifted, they go ahead and drown themselves right back in the same old repetitious loop with television programming, fast food eating, Netflix binge watching, handing your kids that tablet just so you don't be bothered at the end of that long work day for making that fake money for a giant corporation that don't give two shits about you. Whew. All while we all trade our most precious asset, our most valuable asset, which is time, something you can never get back, right? We trade that away like it ain't nothing, all for fake money, because money's not even real. You're the money, you're the asset, you're the energy, you're the currency, if you ain't figured that out yet, right? But they're printing all of this money, so money's fake, right? Not only that, they're taxing you on that money. You're not even ever getting everything you work for. They taxing you on that shit. You know what I'm saying? And the system keeps tightening their grip, crushing y'all. And most of y'all are so brainwashed out there that you think voting will save this, or you think it's a normal life. What? Meanwhile, you got other countries, right? People from other countries, not the United States, other countries that are talking about openly how blatantly obvious the corruption and the tyranny is in the United States, right? Not only that, I mean, we got presidents from different countries and nations talking about how corrupt the United States is. You don't have to believe me. Let me just show you.
Real problem is not the high taxes themselves, but the fact that they are not even really funding the government. So who's financing the government? Government is financed by treasury bonds. And who buys the treasury bonds? Mostly the Fed. And how does the Fed buy them? By printing money. But what backing does the Fed have for that money being printed? The treasury bonds themselves. So basically, you finance the government by printing money out of thin air. Someone could ask, well, so if the government can print the limited amounts of money, why would they need taxes for? The answer is simple, but it's very shocking. The real problem is that you pay high taxes only to uphold the illusion that you are funding the government, which you are not. The government is funded by money printing, paper backed with paper, a bubble that will inevitably burst.
Crazy, right? Hey, don't get mad at me because you didn't do no research. Those feelings you're feeling, yeah, go ahead and leave those at the door, because if you involve that, you'll go into a flight or fight mode. And truth be told, most of y'all don't know how to handle that at all. Just being real with you. But I want to get personal for a second, because I went to war for this country thinking I was defending freedom, thinking I was defending America, thinking I was defending my family, right? I wore this uniform with pride. But when I learned the truth, it rocked me to the core, because I had to come to the realization fact that America, yeah, well, we're the bad guys. We invade other countries for resources, for compliance, and for power. All while our own government sells it back to us as protecting freedom. And then they show us images of another country you've never stepped foot in, all to give you a face of an enemy, to hate. And you still do to this very day, even though you've never been there. I mean, they literally lied about the enemy. And the reason they do that is because they need the public to have an emotional reaction to justify violence that served corporate interest. Oh, I know the truth is killer. It really, don't blame me. Remember, do your own research. Don't get mad, okay? Just telling you. But it really hit home when I got back home, because, wow, I didn't realize how much America took for granted, you know? But me going to a foreign country, a third world country, and to war, wow, it put a different limelight. And I wasn't even awake then, okay? I didn't get awake till years later. But now that I'm fully awake, I see the same corruption happening here on our own soil. And I refuse to sit silent. So I stepped out of the corporate system completely. And I've been fighting the fight ever since, right here on our home soil. Because I'm seeing where this path leads. And it's a dangerous one if people don't stand up for their rights and stop complying. I literally see a future. If people don't lift their heads up from this goddamn screen, y'all gonna walk your asses right into that goddamn cage. Wake up. Let me give you an example. I can walk into my parents' house right now, guaranteed Fox News is on. It's on 90% of the time, okay? Anybody that knows me, I don't watch TV anymore. I don't watch news or sports anymore, right? Because I literally cannot sit there and listen to these lies when I know the truth, okay? But here's where the programming really just takes hold, okay? I can try to talk about what's on the screen at the time, what the news is talking about. And when I open my mouth, immediately I get shut down. What? I'm like asking myself, I'm like, what's the point of watching the news if we can't even have a conversation about it? And the answer is very simple. It's because the truth conflicts with their belief system. And that's exactly why most people refuse to wake up. Because deep down, they know something's wrong. They know the system is broken. But comfort is so much easier. Convenience, way easier. Numbing yourself, so much easier. Meanwhile, we have our air being poisoned, our water being contaminated, our food being engineered, our medicines are chemical traps, and our society, well, it's deliberately weakened so the American people will never revolt. Not because we can't. No. It's because we're too sick, too tired, too docile, and too distracted. First down! And here's the wild part. America doesn't even need to hit the streets to change anything. All you got to do is just stop participating. But unfortunately, most of y'all can't give up fast food or Netflix, much less the belief that voting is going to save you from tyranny. Let me say it clearly, okay? We don't have a government. We have a corporation wearing a government mask. The money is printed by a private entity, a private bank, okay, that loans it to the U.S. and we pay the interest on fake money that they print out of thin air. Make it make sense. The laws, yeah, well, they're written under admiralty and commerce, right? You don't own your land, your car, or your freedom the way you think you do. Yet, people still think that Donald Trump or someone else is just going to come right in like a superhero and fix it all. What? So for anyone out there that just wants to silence me or doesn't want to hear it because it's too much for them right there, I mean, you can literally support me going to war in another country over lies, but you cannot support me protecting you on our own soil from lies. I mean, I'm speaking truth, exposing lies, and giving you information that can literally save you. And the only thing standing in the way is ego, comfort, laziness, fear. Let me tell you something. As long as comfort feels better than freedom, people will continue choosing their chains. Love y'all. But y'all really need to wake the fuck up.
Destroy your television set now. You must listen to no orders. That's all I can tell you from this point of humanity. Believe me.
What if enough people say, we're not doing it? Where is their power? There is none. The power of the few is in the acquiescence of the many.
What's dangerous is when the universe kick you and you put on the magic glasses. There's rules that go with them. You can never take them off. You never see things as they're supposed to be. You see things as they are. You can never force nobody else to wear them. So